let's attempt to make this S2000 turn it into an RC. Now it's time to cut out these posts and grind out the area under this fender wheel here for any steering clearance. These are the parts that I will be using. I stripped the receiver and servo from another build. This receiver is actually slightly different from the one I usually use, but this one works well as well. Again, we have the base plate. We have the motor mount. I call it the motor mount, but it's just basically going to be super glued onto the top of the motor like that. And then I could drill 2 holes through it for the music wire to go through. And of course, we have our steering knuckles, some M1 screws, and then our music wire. This guy here will be our suspension. What I normally like to do is test fit the chassis, and I normally oversize it just a little bit, so when I go to test fit it, it'll give me indications of how much I have to sand down. And I'll just take a file like this and file the sides, both sides of it, slowly file at slowly at a time, and then test fit as you go. And once you get a nice snug fit, then you should stop. After putting the front steering assembly together, it's rather easy to feed this music wire through. With it fit through like this, it's easier to adjust the length of it instead of having a fixed position. So now if I don't like it, I could adjust the length of it. Now the same thing applies for the rear motor. This is the rear motor mount. Basically a small drop of super glue onto the metal casing of the motor. Glue it on, drill the holes on the back here for the music wire, and also drill the holes on this back plate here for the music wire to go through. And once that's done, you can adjust according to the length to fit your car. After attaching the front wheels and the rear motor, it's time to test fit into the car. It's okay, I think it'll work. And the music wire springs enough for it just to give it a little bit of bounce, but the car's not heavy enough for it to bounce, but you can see it gives just a little bit of bounce. Now once all the wiring has been completed, I've test fitted everything in, and now all that's to do is to basically hot glue the servo on and put a little bit of hot glue around the charging port and the on and off switch so they won't pop back out. some people's been asking how I charge the battery, or if I need to take the battery out constantly to charge it. And like I was saying in my previous videos, I have this charging port here, and I rigged up this basically male in to male in connector. So I'll just plug one end into the charging port on the car, and the other end plug directly into a charging station, and it should start charging.